we've got power. Let's get back on the single cab. The weather was really wreaking havoc on me when I was out here last trying to work on the single cab. Not great luck, but that's how life goes sometimes. Anyway, we got one patch done and it turned out pretty good. I was anticipating getting a lot more than that done. Let's see if maybe we can make up some time and get some more of these patches knocked out. All right, here's the next patch we're going to go after. Passenger side, inner fender well, down low. This is the hat section, the cross member that's there on the frame. It always rusts back behind these because dirt and moisture gets in there. We got good metal up here. We're going to cut above that hole. I'm going to go ahead and line up with this point on the jack point, the outrigger. And then over here, I think we might go that far. I don't know, I might bring it in a little bit more. We'll see when we start cutting. But that's the basic idea of where we want to cut. Let's get after it. All right, well, we got that chunk out. I figured I'd start us here in the treasure chest before we look at what we cut on to point out some details. This support section that we ran into when we made the upper patch is pretty rotten down here at its feet. That's something we're gonna have to probably address. Maybe should have seen that coming. And here we are on the outside. I gotta say, this hat section is in better shape than I was anticipating. With the rust breaking through this outer panel, I was afraid it was going to be rotten out in here. It is a little thin in spots, and I gouged it maybe a couple times, just like I did the floor here. We're going to clean that up. We're going to treat this rust, and we're going to get us a patch panel that's going to fit in there, and we'll close this back off. All right, well, here we are. Got a patch panel cut, fit, and put in. I left the camera off during some of that cutting out, cleaning up, cutting the new panel, fitting, taking in and out to make sure it fits just right. I figured that stuff might bore you all. It bores me doing it. I can't imagine that it's not boring watching it. If you want to see it all, let me know and I'll leave the camera on. But anyway, here we are. We've got some more of that trusty bay window metal cut and fit and ready to be welded in. The patch came out pretty decent. You could see over there I ended up going probably about 2.5, 3 inches short of my initial cut line. The metal was decent, so I just left it and made a smaller patch. Let's see if we can get it burned in and be happy with this final product. Well, it's confession time. And my confession is this. I am spoiled to an auto dark lens in my welding hood. And I say that because mine just stopped working. And so I put my old lens back in the hood, and I'm sitting here trying to weld, and man, it really makes you appreciate what people used to have to do before these auto dark lenses came around, because you feel kind of lost in there in the dark. Anyway, my welding is suffering as a result. I'll be honest. I'm still working on it. I feel like I'm always making excuses in these videos, but geez, that auto dark lens is a savior when you don't have to be flipping your hood up and down and you can see everything glow. I don't know. You use them. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to keep after it, but whew, I might have to put this off till tomorrow and see if I can figure out getting myself another lens. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm really not happy with how the welding's going with my current hood situation. I did take the auto dark lens and put it up underneath this old grow light right here. Plants think it's the sun. Why wouldn't an auto dark lens with solar charge think it's the sun? Seemed to work. I had it back for just a couple of minutes before it faded again. So what I did, took an old chunk of metal, where is it? There it is. And I just bent it up so that I can hold that lens up underneath there overnight, and we'll see if it comes back. But I'm going to switch gears to try to make some more progress. Let's start cutting out the rot on the driver's side. I wanted to bring you in and show you this a little closer up. We're kind of dealing with rust in the same spot that we did on the other side, right here by this support section. Now, first of all, I'm not saying this is my final cut. I was going after some really nasty stuff here. I might very well come over into this and take some of this out. But something we didn't encounter on the other side is I'm having to cut out this piece that's back behind this support panel. It's rotted on both sides of it down that low. So we're running into something a little different here. A little more challenging, nothing we can't handle. Just wanted to show you what we're up against. Bringing you back in close again. That last little bit of grinding I was doing was taking off the last remnants of the seat pedestal that were still on this wall. And once I got them off, I got in here with I think it's 80 grit on a DA just to see what kind of metal we were dealing with. Surprisingly solid, but not up here. And that is us entering a rib in the metal too. So that is going to be something you have to take into consideration. Again, this side is proving to be a little more complicated than the other side. But I think while we're here, the right thing to do is go ahead and cut it out up here. We might, I don't know if we should make one patch and make it a jog, that's going to be a complicated piece. Or if we just go ahead and make this patch, then we'll come up here and put a strip in, because this metal down here is solid. I'm going to get past this pitting. We don't want to leave any of that behind since we're doing it. But I'm mainly going up into this rib, and we're going to have to bend that first edge, and hopefully, I don't know. This is going to get interesting. This is going to get interesting, to say the least. Well, here we are again. Another patch panel made, fit in place. I think it's going to work out all right. Still no hood, so it's not tacked in yet. I'm going to treat the metal behind it, get it ready to be welded in tomorrow. But it's about 1 in the morning, so I'm going to go inside and get some sleep. We'll see you all tomorrow. Good morning. Well, probably more like afternoon. That was a late night, and I'm way too old for stuff like that. Anyway, a little bedhead, but it's time to get back to work. First thing I'm going to do, check on this welding lens and see if I can get some work done today. I think we're good. Great news! The solar light worked and my auto dark hood is back. You know, it's funny, even switching back to the old lens for a while, which is how I started welding, that auto dark lens with my hood down, I go to tack and I close my eyes before I do it because you can see so well, but that habit goes away pretty quick too. Back to auto dark. We got that piece tacked in, pretty pleased with it. I'm going to do a little more cleanup on the metal. I'm not getting as clean of a tack weld as I want, but let me grind those down, do a little cleanup, and we'll get back after it. Okay, here it is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That auto darkening hood sped things up for sure. Got this perimeter welded in. Still needs some grinding. If we go around to the treasure chest, like before, we got a couple of pinholes that I'll address after grinding, and then we're gonna clean it up in here. Got a little gash over here too that's gonna have to get welded up. But like I said, we're gonna address this section probably with a patch also. And we've got that huge tire well patch to do along with the lower inner fender well on this driver's side. But I think I'm gonna leave you guys here for this episode. It's gotten kind of long, ran into some issues, but we did get some work done. So for anyone who's wondering, here's the horror that is that lower fender well patch. I am going to fix that off camera and sit in my shame while I do so. We'll make it look better. I'll show you the finished product. I won't bore you with multiple scenes of welding and grinding to repair what I did when I didn't have an auto dark hood. That shouldn't be an excuse, but it is my excuse. Anyway, thanks for being here, folks. I really do appreciate you following along as we're working on this 61 single cab. Metal work is coming along. It's a slow process. If you do it, you know. If you don't, you'll learn. Future videos include this truck. We're getting there. We're getting close to being able to put in the toolbox and the fender tubs once these bulkhead patches are done. Like I said, I'm going to fix some of this stuff off camera that I kind of screwed up. We'll get it cleaned up. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and subscribe. Guys, it's free. It helps me out. Little effort on your part goes a long way. And I want you to know every time I put out a new video. So subscribe, like, comment. Tell me more about what you want to see, what I did wrong, what I did good. Let me know all about it. Until next time,